Hey, what's going on, guys? Josie Q here, and today I'm gonna give you a map idea. And this map idea was thought by me, only me. I've never heard any idea, never like heard of anything before about this. And I thought, at least to my knowledge, I thought of like the characters, the setting, what's going to happen. So just listen to this. One thing I want to say before this commentary actually like gets started with this is that how in Black Ops 1 they had the main game, main like part like Kino or whatever. Then they also had 5, and it's kind of a little extra add-on. This is like 5, and you'll see why it's like 5, and you'll also see why it's like 5. If that makes sense. There's two different ways where it could be like that. And if Treyarch, if you're listening, this map needs to be made. Take it, in a way where you can probably do something maybe with a storyline, and if not, then you literally just make it kind of like I said. You could add different stuff. I didn't add too much to this, like I didn't add a wonder weapon, or I didn't know what kind of weapons you were going to have, so that's why I didn't really add like too much detail with weaponry. But you'll see that I kind of go into detail with some parts. So the characters. Well, actually, we should start with the main idea. It's the time period, Civil War. The place is Gettysburg, and I chose this because it's a very iconic place, and I've actually been there before, so I thought that was another cool thing, and I kind of went with my experiences and stuff. And they go to some cool historical places sometimes, like Alcatraz and whatnot. So the characters, obviously, we're gonna have Abraham Lincoln. It's kind of just obvious now. Um, so the second character, and these characters may not make sense in a way. Like the second one's Ulysses S. Grant, and he was nowhere near Gettysburg when the time of Gettysburg was going on. But it's a game, and anything can happen in Call of Duty Zombies. The next character is Robert E. Lee, the leader or whatever of like the Confederates, and I guess I just put him in there because I have like a way I want this story for these characters to be developed, and you'll see here in a second, because the last one is just a random Union soldier, not Confederate but Union. And the reason behind that is because throughout the gameplay you're going to hear random quotes from this character talking about how he likes Abraham Lincoln a lot. He likes Ulysses S. Grant, obviously, because he's Union. He expresses his gratitude towards them. But throughout the map as well, you'll hear him like kind of use hateful comments towards Robert E. Lee, and kind of just develop this hate, this underlining hate for Robert E. Lee. But then if there's an Easter egg or something like that, I don't know, I haven't really thought of any Easter egg ideas, but mainly if there was an Easter egg, then at the end of this Easter egg, he would have different feelings towards Robert E. Lee. That's my way on this. And so moving on, the cutscene. I think it would be cool to have Abraham Lincoln kind of on his stage, per se, and have like all these, you can see all these soldiers kind of in front of him, and then you see like, let's say, these two soldiers standing there, and they're kind of guarding him, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere you see hundreds of dead Confederates and dead Union soldiers just running like you would see them in the Nocturne Toten loading screen, something like that. They were just kind of running at you, and then you see all these soldiers like pull out their guns, but then the zombies get there before they have time to load them, because in the Civil War, like after you shoot, you have to like do all this weird loading shit, so it takes a while, and they all get like eaten. So then like you get spawned right there, and you're spawned obviously as Abe, Ulysses, Robert, and a random soldier. And starting off, you're near this stage. It's a decently middle-sized stage, and on either side, left and right, there is one of the new weapons on the wall. I have no clue what they are because they're going to be different next game. But I know the starting pistol. I don't know it, but this is what I think it should be. I think it should be I think the starting pistol should be the Colt Army Model 1860, because that is a cool looking weapon. That's one of the coolest weapons of the time, and it's a Colt, which a Colt is what the M1911 is. Obviously, that M1911 was not created yet, so these are the kind of pistols you're gonna have. If you don't know what a Model 1860 is, then go look it up. And you're gonna have obviously your knife. It's probably not gonna be like the same one as you have now, but it's gonna be the same like damage. And the 1860, even though it's a revolver, would do the same damage as a Colt would as well. Moving forward, let's see here. From here, you're gonna kind of make your way into this field, but to gain entrance into this field, you have to pay a fee of $12.50. to get in there, and it's like picture like a big open field just kind of blocked off by like barbed wire and a fence or something like that. And then once you get into this field, you don't want to be there anymore. It kind of gets foggier in that field. Like that field feels like there's something, like different about that field, and that might have something to do with the Easter egg. But when you get in there, it kind of gets more foggy. But the only thing you could really see, like for sure, is the ground. And when you look at the ground, it is completely drenched in blood, and like just it looks painted red because of the Civil War, and there's so much death there. And you can also see just holes in the ground from cannon fire and just dead bodies everywhere. Obviously, if it's like in a field, there might be some type of hay bale or something. There might be bales of hay, but in this field, other than the dead bodies, the blood, and all the stuff, the mist or whatever, you would see these random pieces that you could pick up, assuming they're bringing back the building aspect of the game. And you would see like a wheel, you would see wood, you would see these reins that you would maybe smack a horse with or something, make it go faster. And then after you're starting to get out of the field, you're wondering where's this fourth piece. And once you get out of this field, you're next to this this farmhouse, and I don't know the exact name of it because it's a real farmhouse, and it's a double-story white farmhouse, and there's a horse sitting next to it, and there's a workbench in the front next to that horse. So when you go up to this this workbench, you can build and put these pieces on there. And what it does is it creates this wagon to connect the horse to. And leaving that aside for a second, you walk into the house. The house costs $2,000 or so to get in. The downstairs has Juggernog, but it's not turned on yet. Also to mention, by the stage was Quick Revive. I forgot to mention that. But Juggernog's in here, and you may be wondering, why are there perks? This is in the Civil War. There really wasn't like power, I guess, to power machines like this. These machines obviously weren't even created in this type of time. Obviously, like it wasn't even created in the Mob of the Dead time either. But we'll get to that eventually. Moving upstairs, there's nothing really up there. There might be a wall weapon of like some type of weapon from that time period. I don't really know though. And there's also a battle damaged like wall, which kind of looks like the wall in Town Survival. You could just jump out. So heading back down to this this wagon, 3 people can get in the back. It's an open wagon, and if you want to picture a wagon on Buried, I didn't even think of this at first. Like I didn't know this was down Buried, but on Buried, if you go on Buried and you're right in front of the jail cell, like you let the sloth goes in, there's a wagon. It looks just like that. So these 3 characters, any 3 characters you want, can get in the back. They will be shooting the zombies as they run at you like they do for the transit bus. But the interesting part is someone gets in the front. They cannot control which way they walk. The only thing they do is they hit the horse with the reins to make it kind of keep going. Obviously, it's going to keep going. It's going to go slow, though, if you don't hit it. And the reasoning behind that is, like, if you're playing with randoms, they may not hit it at all, and they may just do this to troll you. So it's obviously going to move. It's just going to move faster if you hit it. And it's completely doable if you don't hit it at all, but I'm just saying. Moving up, you're going to be able to go either right, left, or straight. There's a fork, like a fork type of thing. Now, you're probably going to say, which way do you want to go first? Well, in my opinion, you're going to want to go right first. By going right, it's going to bring you to a completely empty field. When you get here, it's completely empty. If you get out of this wagon and you walk about 10 feet forward, you will then be teleported through a rift. I know, right? Crazy. But teleported through a rift, which will bring you into the future, into the mid-90s. When you're in the mid-90s, there will be this Gettysburg National Tower, in front of you, which is not there obviously back in the Civil War, and it's not there now because it was demolished, because it was, apparently people thought it was too annoying. But so anyways, I did a lot of research on this, but there's the characters express confusion throughout this time, because it kind of goes from an eerie state of just like what is going on in the the Civil War part of it to now it's kind of like more sunny out, and it doesn't look like there's a zombie apocalypse, but zombies start running even faster through the rift to get to you, and you can either die, grab a new, like I said, you could either die, you could walk forward to this this tower and you can grab a wall weapon, which is actually some type of newer weapon. I don't know why, but when it came to mind, I thought like M16 or something, something newer, but not like too new. That's like it's obviously in the 90s, but it's not like old and it's not new. Then you can go into the elevator, which is inside of this building, and it brings you up to the first of four floors. Sorry, and on the first floor is double tap. On the second floor, there's nothing there. It's kind of just like a picture each floor the size of the main frame, or not like the main frame, like the first room in Durice. I don't know why. I just kind of picture like around that size in a way, just something like that. So like I said, the first floor has double tap. The second floor is just a circling area. You cannot really do anything there. There may be a wall weapon or something. The third floor has the power on it, and this power, when you turn it on, it powers the other two things that are on this tower, which I'll get to in a second, and also somehow brings the power. I don't know how. Maybe it's using some type of like, I think it's called Y-tricity, something that that somebody was supposed to do in the past. It's kind of hard to explain. If you want to know what Y-tricity is, look it up. But some type of electricity that goes through the rift and turns the perks on that side and the pack-a-punch on that side. So if you go up to this roof area, you'll see, after you turn the power on, you'll see these two things. The first thing you'll see is the perk. The perk is something I created myself, which may or may not be a good idea, depending on your thought on zombies. But it's called Regenerita. I know it sounds weird. It's kind of going like after like a margarita or something. I know, but it's like a drink, so obviously it's plausible. So Regenerita, what it does is it regenerates 10 bullets every 5 seconds, and this could be overpowered, but it's also on this building. You gotta remember, there's no way to get down other than this elevator, and the zombies are climbing really fast. They're climbing up the sides of this building, breaking through windows, and even just trying to kill you in any possible way. And so having more bullets obviously is going to be better right now and in the next couple places we get to. The next thing you're going to see up here is called Attach-a-Punch. I know that sounds kind of stupid to get an attachment, Pack-a-Punch before you get to the actual Pack-a-Punch, but it kind of, what it does is you can customize your attachments, put any type of attachment you want on that gun, and it's gonna, when you Pack-a-Punch, that same attachment will be there, so it's not like you lose it. And then you can still change it again when you have your Pack-a-Punch version. So that's a cool idea, and that's pretty much all that's on this building. And if you want to, now you can leave, but before you leave, on this roof there are these binocular type things all around, like at like sightseeing places there's binoculars, so you can choose to go up to these binoculars and look out, and then your characters kind of express confusion because they see this is Gettysburg, but it's not their time period, and it doesn't look like it would be a zombie infested world, because this alternate universe had no zombies until you went through this rift and brought them over, and they're coming through this rift, and there's no one really around. I mean, you may be able to see like random people just in the background or something, but you can't get to them, and they don't know you're there. And this all goes with the storyline if there was one. So now when you leave, you get on this wagon, you get back to this first main area again. You could either go straight or to the left. Assuming you go straight, it brings you to this this tower. Now, I wrote down the name of the tower somewhere in this book that I have. I have this theory book here. And so the tower has Pack-a-Punch on it, and it's not that big of a tower, but it's by Culp's Hill, I believe. I did some research. It's by Culp's Hill, and it's a tower. So like it has Pack-a-Punch on it, but it's kind of like a square tower. So when you're going up, you have to go up these stairs. So you're gonna go like straight, and then it's not like winding like a spiral, but it's more like you go straight, then left again, which is straight, and then kind of left again, which is straight, until you get up to the top. And I've actually been to this tower before. That's what I had my ideas from. And I'll have pictures probably on the screen, hopefully, if I remember to put them there. And going up this tower, you're gonna want to have Juggernog. So like I said, after you turn that power on, you should probably go back and grab Juggernog. But you're gonna want to have Juggernog because going up this tower, it's going to be hard, and you're probably gonna be on some of the higher rounds. Now you're probably gonna be on like not higher, but like 13 plus. And being on these rounds, going up a stairwell where you cannot go backwards because they're coming that way, and having the zombies climb the sides and going down the stairs that way, it's going to be pretty hard, and you're going to want to have weapons that are decent. And mind you, you're not even at the first box spawn yet. And if you went to the left, you'd be at the first box spawn. And there's a box spawn at left, middle, right, and I think maybe at White House. So once you get up here, you can pack a punch your gun if you want to. I'm just kind of going in order of the way this is. You don't have to go here next, but you know, here, this is where pack a punch is. It's kind of a decently sized place up there. Maybe you could circle up there or at the bottom, and you sure as hell don't want to try to strain and go upstairs because you will just get trapped. So after, there might be a perk or something there. I haven't really thought of that kind of stuff yet, but you know, after leaving this area, you go left. Now this left area is Devil's Den. If you don't know what that is, it's a very rocky region, and the point and idea of this area for me was to kind of survive with, like, on the rocks, and if you went off these rocks, you would die, meaning you have to climb these rocks, and picture them getting bigger and bigger and bigger as you climb until you get to the point where you're on this last rock, and if you fall off, you're dead. But if you like find a way to like train a zombie and then maybe knife him, he can, like, you know, or kill him or shoot him, he'll fall off obviously, and he will die too. There might be, you know, some type of pushing feature. We don't know the features in that game either. So this is where the box is, on this very high rock too, and this box obviously has the weapons that are multiplayer because that's kind of just how things work. You use the weapons that are coded to the game. So it also will have a wonder weapon. I have not thought of this wonder weapon yet. So if you guys have any ideas for a wonder weapon, that could go in this. But this is where the box is. This is where the first location is. I said there's one that's going to be there, middle, which is going to be under that tower in the middle. And then on the right, then we could probably put the box spawn in the third story, since nothing was on the third like floor in the right area, or in the National Tower in the future. Also in the second floor of the White House, or like not the White House, but like in the white like farmhouse, that's where the box spawn is, over there. So in this area, you don't have just that box, and it's going to be a very tight area to circle next to that box, especially with 4 people. So, you know, leaving in that area, heading down, that's where Speed Cola is, right? To get Speed Cola, for 30 seconds, all of the characters have to press X on a rock that is sitting in front of Speed Cola. You know, you're saying why 30 seconds and why Speed Cola and not the other? Speed Cola is not like as useful. Well, it's useful. It's not as important as Juggernog, but it's a very important perk. And if you don't realize that, then one day you will realize how important Speed Cola is. Trust me. You do not want to be like circling or in a very tight situation and reload an LMG or reload some type of weapon very slowly. Trust me, you do not want to. Sometimes I feel like I take it for granted myself. But that means you have to get a crawler to do this, and you have to press X for 30 seconds. Maybe 30 seconds is too much. 15 seconds. And you're pressing X on this to make you guys push this rock out of the way, and then you can actually get to it. And you know, there may be more stuff in these areas. This kind of just sounds like a bland area for now, I know. But if the Treyarch is obviously going to add more stuff to each area, make it look cool, and a new engine, whatever they're using at the time. So in each area, if there's more stuff, then that would be great. But I really think this idea is really cool because it incorporates the whole time travel and rift thing, and it has, you know, the main not main characters, but it has like the main people during the Civil War. It's got Abe, it's got Ulysses, it's got Robert, and a random soldier, obviously. But this is kind of cool. It's kind of got the 5 aspect to it of having like a president, having the bad guy, having one of the good guys, or 2 of the good guys, I guess. And just all together, this feels like it could be, you know, a nice add-on to the game. Not maybe DLC, but just something that comes along with the game as like a special add-on. Let me know what you guys think about all the stuff I've said in this video. Sorry it was a long one, but that's kind of what happens when you try to explain a whole map to a person or people. And I hope I explained it pretty good. If I have anything else, because I have changed this story to this map quite a lot of times. I also drew it out, and yeah, so I'll come back to you guys with you know, another video explaining if I have anything else, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.